Three, two, one, recording. BT's back. How you doing, BT?
What's up, Dan? I'm good, and you?
I am good, thanks. Welcome to the new studio. I'm still putting up all the pictures. I see you've got a lot of books in the background to make you seem quite smart. Some files as well to make you seem like you're a good manager.
Yeah, I even got the tactics board. Can you see the tactics board?
I can see the tactics board. Yeah, you've got attack and defense locked down there.
Mm.
So how's it going with the coaching?
Yeah, no, it's still it's back to lockdown. Um, in January when Cyril made that announcement.
Yeah,
Level 3.
The numbers in Joburg are quite high.
Yeah, so all of the guys have basically gotten back from holiday, and everyone's pretty much doing individual training in their backyards.
Okay, like just fitness training, but also ball skills?
Yeah, fitness, ball skills, shooting. A lot of the guys now have soccer poles.
Okay. Oh, that's cool. Why not? Why not? That seems like something that that seems like something that should always have been there. We might get more goals in South African football now.
Yeah, so it's like so guys have made that effort to get those miniature hockey size, maximum. That's what they've done.
Oh, exactly. The smaller goals. So then in the bigger ones, there's no excuse.
Yeah, I know because sometimes when they just miss it in the smaller ones.
They say I'm practicing for the bigger goal. So
yeah.
for the Juice Ready viewers that are watching, that have just joined us, obviously welcome. Hit that like button. I know you want to. It always really helps me too. And BT's joining us again from Sandton, Coach BT. So because the COVID numbers are up, the soccer. Normally the quality of soccer goes down a bit, but now you say that the guys have goalposts in their back gardens. BT,
yeah. So
in your playing career, should you maybe you've also got some goals for your back garden?
That's the thing. Yeah, that's how I always do when it comes to my coaching and developing. Is that I try to do the stuff that I sort of lacked.
Okay.
In my development as so obviously take back a lot of the lessons of the environment, how it was in Highlands, when we're still in school, and trying to make it create that environment but better. So
right.
Yeah, if I'd goalpost at the back of the crib, man, shit, I'd be a top scorer.
For AC Milan or one of the bigger sides.
Arsenal wouldn't be in this situation right now.
They'd be still top of the Prem. Still top of the Prem.
Yes, yeah. Number 14.
And you'd be in your prime. And you'd be in your prime this year, turning 34.
Yeah, bro. I'm ushering in the Emil Smith Rowe in there.
Right. He's great. Yeah. I mean, that was a trick question because at Pinelands High we used to have rugby posts, and I know your shot always went over the goals when we were playing soccer. So,
see.
So,
but at least now they don't have rugby anymore. Pilots
got conditioned. Yeah, exactly. And thank you to, some of the people in our year can take credit for that, right? I mean,
yeah, definitely. That's what I was always saying. Tiamo, I know he's been on the to what marketing. But
he's been on Juice Ready, so it's good that you're giving him a shout out that people know him.
Yeah, shout out T.
He's out.
Yeah, man.
Media correspondent.
Yeah, they do petitions and all of that, really forcing the envelope. Not only at ground, but within the school structure.
Well, right, sorry, and just again to the viewers, I do apologize about my camera. I know it's a little bit fuzzy. Please bear with me. It is getting sorted out when the new studio gets sorted out next week. But listen to BT and watch BT. He's the one that actually knows what he's talking about. So you say it was. I actually remember that football at PHS was democratically voted in, right?
Because
for anyone that doesn't, BT. For anyone that doesn't know, me and BT went to the same high school, and it was very much a cricket and rugby high school, Pinelands High. And while we
hockey school.
Sorry, hockey, mostly hockey actually. I think 5 of the first team hockey players when I was in sort of my year, I think 5 of them were South Africa, and about 7 of them were Western Province. Yeah, there were some really good players.
And even guys like Tammy Tolekile. Remember Tammy Tolekile?
So Tammy played cricket and hockey.
Did you know he was Cape Town, remember Cape Town Spurs?
Yeah, and he played Western Province cricket and hockey, and then South Africa cricket.
Yeah, soccer as well, but like since at that stage soccer couldn't like offer him a scholarship, he had to take the one that gave him a scholarship. So imagine if Pilot High, and obviously like what we're talking about now, about the fact that later on guys like Tiamo and even in that generation of Tiro Zingitwa,
yes,
the late Tiro Zingitwa, they also did a lot. But yeah, we can have like a nice trace it back.
Well, that's the thing. So yeah, that's interesting that it got voted in democratically. So T just took a petition and took it to the students and said, we want football, and everyone signed it, I think. But a lot of people signed it.
Yeah.
Like, so more people signed it than like that people that played hockey, cricket, and soccer hockey, cricket, water polo, and rugby put together, I think. More people signed it than actually people that watched those sports. So yeah, it was a big thing, and now they're a really good soccer side. So when you coaching in Sandton, do you ever have aspirations to grab a 14 or 15-year-old from the academy at Pinelands? Have you watched them play?
Yeah, man. So that's where the makeup of it, especially like when the team is playing at like a PSL level, that's like a national level. So it will have to have like players drawn from nationally and internationally. And I trust like the pilot system, because I mean, we went through it. So it would be nice then to have like with Pinelands High, whereby after guy matriculates, we have an annual draft.
Right.
5 picks. Yeah.
And then you offer the best players to Black Leopards and Cape Town City.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, man. Like, if you look at the South African game right now, it needs a lot of fresh blood, fresh plays. And sometimes, like, you look at the PSL teams, there's no team that can say that's like a young team. Cape Town City might is a young team, but there's no team that I don't know if you remember Jomo Cosmos.
Of course.
So Jomo Cosmos, when Orlando Pirates won the CAF Champions League in 1995, 9 players from that squad, like your Mockfish, they came from Jomo Cosmos. And that's what Jomo Cosmos was known for. Like, they used to just produce plays for the bigger teams.
Was Jomo, sorry guys, I am very red as well from working out earlier, but did Jomo Sono also, was he the coach for he wasn't the coach for the entire time, right? I remember him being coached for like 10 years or so. Could have been more.
Of?
Jomo Cosmos. Jomo Sono.
No, he's been a lifetime. Yeah, he's a lifetime coach. He's still coach now.
So like more like 29 years or something like that.
Yeah, so he started off as a player coach.
Who coached? Who coached when Jomo Sono coached Bafana? Who coached Jomo Cosmos, if I may ask?
Oh, that was like temporary. So like as during the World Cup or the AFCON.
Pardon me.
So, but that's what they've always been like. There's always been like banter and jokes about the fact that Jomo Sono is like they say he even drives the bus.
Yeah.
But I mean,
he probably makes meals at halftime as well.
Yeah, but and that's how football was run like back in the day. That figure used to be called a preza, short for president.
Yes. There was a few at Clyde, because I grew up at Clyde Pinelands, so there was a few over the years. Like Christos's dad, Justin Stoffel's dad, they were at one stage each. Like there was another time where it was where Keith Greenway You know, whoever's dad had enough money to sort of sponsor the club a little bit because they needed water and electricity,
Yeah.
and put a few beers in the bar, and then sort of try and break even with that if they got enough people to come and watch the games.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
speaking
So,
yeah.
but it's interesting that Preza, it's a kind of thing at every soccer club, you know, no matter where you are in South Africa.
So like what's supposed to be done, one team that changed that, team that changed that, it was a team called Giant Blackpool.
Oh yes.
They they produced Shoes Mushel, Gavin Lane, Jeris Kosana.
Okay, so I don't know if you remember, but we spoke about this on like the first episode of Juice Ready,
Yeah, yeah.
like about 6 months ago or something.
So
Actually,
now
probably close to a year
so
ago.
we spoke about the theory. Let's
Yeah.
speak about the practical of it now.
Okay.
You know, it's practical of it.
What is that?
So you see Clyde Pilots.
So just for the viewers who are listening, Clyde Pinelands is a very little club in Pinelands in Cape Town, but it's a great soccer club which at one stage had players training there that were playing in the Vodacom League and the Avela League. Not
Yes,
even
yes.
always for Clyde. There were different clubs that came and trained at the facilities, but it's just always had a great place to get your grassroots soccer anyways. Carry on, BT. What's the practical side of it?
So if you look at now, so you were saying that earlier on that there was a different like eras or different, you know, management and leadership.
Yeah,
You know,
basically
across the
eras.
team.
Yeah, different eras. Yeah.
Yeah. So now what Pilots needs now is that transformation from like that Preza era to now the more professional
Mm.
administration era,
Yeah, like corporate
whereby
era.
you have, yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So now, so they now, because at the end of the day, Club Pilots is a club for pilots. It belongs to the pilots community.
It is, and if someone's dad was like quite big at the club and had beers there every Saturday and helped them pay the electricity bill, like his son or his nephew could play in the team
Yeah,
because do you know what I mean? They would hide him at left back or something, and then sometimes the kid will get really good as well because he's playing every week. But
yeah,
I know what
because
you mean when what I'm trying to say is when you go from sort of club where there's just a community club to a corporate sort of club, you start caring about bottom line and business and getting good players. It doesn't, there's still areas of nepotism, but there's no like, he's going to play because he's someone's son or whatever. You're getting the best players you can get in every position and for the reserves.
yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Because at the end of the day, because if you do things the right way, then because you've seen it in like in AC Milan, for example, with Maldini, there's like 3 generations of Maldinis now.
Yeah.
So doesn't say that families can't still be prominent in the structure, but there'll be more inclusion in terms of.
What's Maldini's what's Paolo Maldini's son's name? I think it's
Yeah, I forgot that dude, but
he's an attacking center mid, like he's a CAM. I always thought they would all be defenders because unless I'm talking nonsense, Paolo and his father were both center backs.
Yeah, bro, like
But
Paulo was one of the best.
yeah, no, Paolo Maldini, like for me, he is Maldini. But his son
Yeah,
his son is really good. He's not in that team because Paolo's his father. He's in that team because he's a good player.
yeah, no, he needs to do quite a bit to at least stand out.
Yeah.
He's
Oh
got his
well,
work
yeah.
cut out.
He's training with Ibrahimovic. So anyway, he's got
Yeah, no, there's a revival. They're on a revival there at AC Milan. They made a
yeah.
partnership with Rock Nation.
So when
Did
you're
you see that?
training, I did see, but I saw something like that. What is that? But I was just going to say, when you train with a lion, you get better. Even though he had a fight
Exactly.
with Lukaku last night. What
Ooh,
is?
yeah, no, that's what doggies are about.
Yeah, just those two are just got such big egos. They were going to clash at some point. What is the deal with Rock Nation about?
So it's more marketing and from a commercial aspect to break into first of all, the USA market, right? And then to
Okay.
also break into the pop because now you're going to see like, because Rock Nation is obviously associated with Jay-Z and rap culture, Def Jam.
Yeah.
So you'll see now, for example, Rihanna wearing I was about to say ANC top. You'll see Rihanna wearing an AC Milan top, and you'll see Rihanna engaging and even attending games whenever fans are around.
Yeah, I mean, I think I prefer Rihanna in an AC Milan top than an ANC top. But
imagine the bigger for like a ANC bash.
Yeah.
She can't perform it. Yeah,
so is that what you wanted to say? Like in terms of the taking a club from community to corporate, going next level on the practical side of it.
Yeah, so that's what I want to say. I want to say club partners can be like, at a high, playing like, close to PSL level even.
Right.
The facilities, they got the history, they got the community, they got the schools. So it just needs to all come together. So next time they have the annual general meeting, you should attend that.
I actually still know some people at the club, so I could attend it.
Yeah.
I mean, they would probably just, wear your mask and sanitize, because if I went there now, I'd want to give them a hug, because I used to play there.
It'll be virtual. We must do it virtually.
Yeah, that's correct, actually. Yeah, it's all virtual now. The last one that was done, I think it was but it wasn't a soccer club, it was a squash club. They did it in person, but there's only about, squash clubs aren't big. There's only like 40 people, whereas a soccer club can have, 150 people if they were all at the AGM.
Yeah.
If the players came.
Especially if it's like the German model. Remember the German model, 50+1?
Tell us more about the German model.
So in the Bundesliga, there's a rule that says that 51% of the club must be owned by the community.
Okay, I like that.
And then, so that's why you'll never see like an oligarch or a country buying a German club.
That's cool.
But now the only guys who didn't cheat the system, but they found a way, is Red Bull, RB Leipzig.
Yes, how did they cheat? What are they using? Their 49%, and they have another company that's got 2%.
Yeah, they're still doing the. So what happens, right? You become a member of the football club as like a club member, right? Then that means that now you're part of the like AGMs, for example. So what RB Leipzig did is that, and obviously as a member you pay like your annual fees, and they usually, like, since it's a community club, they make sure that it's within the budget of the community. So they'll make it like 50 rand, for example, if it's South Africa.
I was gonna say that German communities are quite rich people, individually and as communities. So that could work there pretty well. But that's why but it's such a cool cultural experiment.
Yeah. So that's why you see that all the German clubs are pretty much organized, they have nice structures and all of that, because like you were saying, the people there, have more money to put into the club.
Yeah.
So what RB Leipzig did is that they took a club that was playing in the 5th division, where Clyde Pinelands is now, right?
Right.
And then all those guys, they spoke to like the members, who were like probably like 100 people at that time maximum, and they said, check here, here's a vision. Let's like close off this membership now and make the prices higher to be part of the membership.
I see.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And then, so when they did that, they signed that as a constitution, whatever. And then that's when they started, then the Red Bull money started coming in. Yeah, just putting resources.
They kind of manipulated the market there, didn't they?
Yeah, quickly. And they only saw it like in and they couldn't. That's why they can't put Red Bull Leipzig.
RB Leipzig.
So, yeah, they put, it's like Rasen Bull something. I don't know what it is.
Oh yes, they made another name for it, that they could put RB in front of the Leipzig.
Yeah.
And there's another team that also does it. RB Salzburg. I think they did it as well. Also with Red Bull money. Thing. But they're an Austrian
Yeah,
team, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
yeah. So they got about like they got obviously New York Red Bull. So like in RB Leipzig now, there's a guy from America,
Yeah.
Tyler Adams.
Okay.
So it's like there's franchises, but the most difficult one and the most lucrative now is the German one, because now they're playing Bundesliga, and it took 10 years. They were playing Division 5 in the 10 years ago.
And now they play Champions League every year.
Champions League every year. And like the community itself is like, now we cool with this, but the rest of the German, like, nah, man, this is not just like, this is against our whatever.
So I mean, the community around the club is cool with it, but the other German teams don't like it.
Yeah, because imagine like that happened at Clyde.
It's more competition for Munich and Leverkusen and Hoffenheim.
But it goes against, because the Germans are very proud about that 50 plus and that whole club and community feel very proud of that. So now when they have a team that and Bayern Munich does the same thing. 51% is owned by the club. Another thing, 30% is owned by Adidas, and then the other is owned by Allianz.
Yeah. The Allianz Arena is where they play. But so in a way, like, come on, I mean, I know. So that is the type of culture that you do want to conserve, because it's a very beautiful thing, having football clubs in your country that play in the highest league of that country, owned by the community. It's a special type of, I mean, we could do a whole different episode on this, really, because the reason I talk about soccer on Juice Radio is because I'm interested in the cultural aspect of it. And, you know, working on a team and how soccer actually brings communities together. But, yeah, that's interesting. So, yeah, that is the type of culture that you do want to conserve. But isn't Bayern Munich, in a way, sort of already on such a high level that no one's ever going to get near them unless they do get some Red Bull money? You're never going near the Bayern Munich's in the league.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
So that's the thing, like where the power comes in or where the muscle comes in is the other 49%. Yeah. So if you got, so Bayern Munich's got that Allianz and that Adidas, compared to say, what's that team that? Union Berlin. Union Berlin.
I know Hertha Berlin.
Yeah. So in fact, that's an interesting story about that country. Every capital's got like top teams.
Yeah.
Except for Germany's capital.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, you get Paris Saint-Germain, you get Real Madrid, London's got about 4 good sides. Make that 3. Arsenal's not one of them anymore. Had to dig it there. So Russia's got Moscow. I mean, even Poland, Italy. What is the capital of Italy? Rome. Yeah, so Roma is always right up there.
Rome, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So do you know why Hertha is like that? And now, because only now they have Hertha Berlin, right? That was the first team like that broke into that level. And then there's a new team that came through like in the last 2 years called Union Berlin.
Okay.
So Hertha Berlin is the more, but Union Berlin is owned by like punks and hippies. So that's like the other 49%.
Damn.
So literally, like if you hear the story about how they built even the stadium, like cats were out there, getting down and dirty building that stadium. But the reason why Hertha doesn't have because remember the German War.
Well, Germany's had so many wars. I don't know which one you want to talk about.
The one that divided, man. The one that.
In World War II, Hitler, and then the Allied crushing of the Nazis, and then they made a wall to divide Berlin. Yeah, and then divided the Allied powers divided Germany up into 4 states: France, England, Russia, and America. And they also divided Berlin with a wall. Yeah, World War II.
Yeah, so then they had, Germany was divided into East Germany and West Germany.
Yes.
And that that line was Dane Hertha. I mean, in
Yeah,
Berlin.
that line only came down in, like, I think 1990. I need to ask.
Yeah, when they had
I
that
need to
big
ask
ass
Nick about that.
party. Yeah, you look nice. I wish I was there. Anyways,
Sorry, I just
so
after my work, I needed something to drink. Yeah. Anyway, carry on, B.
only then could now Berlin start focusing. Okay, cool. Now let's be a city. Let's integrate together and shit. Oh, sorry, my language. And
No, it's all good.
let's like play football. So whereas in the other places, the other cities and towns, their culture has always been the same because they never had a war dividing town.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, there is. I think even if you go, I haven't been yet, but I can't wait to go in the next couple of years. But friends of mine that have been to Berlin say, even to this day, you still see like different architecture in the buildings and stuff between the east and west sides of Berlin, and effects of communism and effects of capitalism in the east and west, respectively. Cool. So. You know, there is something I wanted to talk about because we were talking about Clyde Pinelands and South African football. I think two things. Well, firstly, what's your perfect what's your dream scenario for a youngster that comes and plays in your club, like a really good soccer player, any position, doesn't matter. I'm not talking specifically about play style, but what's the ideal sort of community background that you want them to come from? Do you have preferences about where you want them to, what's your ideal sort of player background where they come from?
For now, like if you look at, where the team is, it's like we're playing like local level.
Okay.
In the, like in the northern parts of Joburg or northern region of Joburg. So ideally, should be players that are coming from in and around that community. The reason why is because of time and logistics. Because now, if a player comes from like, the south, which is like 45 minutes. So like for him to finish school and then still have to travel to make it to training, finish training at 7 o'clock. And then at 7, he needs to mission home, gets home at like 9, still needs to do homework.
So logistics still plays a big thing in this. So
yeah,
it's an interesting one because you don't want logistics to play a big part because you don't want to limit yourself geographically. You could get really good players just outside of your area.
Yeah, so so like I was saying, where we are right now, it's like we're an amateur team, and so at amateur level, you wanna optimize and make sure you make use of all of the guys locally, and then at professional level, say like the ideal situation is that in 5 years' time, we're knocking on the door of the PSL.
Okay.
At that stage, then now we're a professional team. We can pay wages. Now it's all about how good you are and what you can add to the team. So then it doesn't matter where you come from, bro. If we get a call from Brazil, the guy they say they want to come down to Sandton and play a bit. So we go to Brazil, bro. We go to the favelas and do the samba.
All right. Okay, so and what type of I don't know how much you know about these players, but I wanted to talk a little bit about Percy Tau and Cajelo, if I'm saying that right, Cajelo, Chauke.
Yeah, Cajelo Chauke.
Cajelo Chauke. Cajelo Chauke and Percy Tau. I mean, they're really great players, and I think Percy's already played for Bafana, unless I'm making. I think Percy's already got some caps. Chauke hasn't played for Bafana because he's been in England for so long that he can represent either England or South Africa. Such a talented player. So Percy is at Brighton and Chauke is at Southampton. Percy actually started for the first team the other day, and Chauke is still playing under 23, I think.
Still teenage, still 18.
How much do you know about these players? Like what were they doing before their PSL career? Like Percy before he was at Sundowns.
Yeah. So I mean that's like a tale of that. Just the diversity of like, the players and people of South Africa. That's like a tale of, two towns almost, because Percy Tau comes from Witbank.
Witbank, yeah, I saw that.
Which is in Mpumalanga.
Yeah.
And so he played there, and then he got scouted by Sundowns, got there like, like say 16, 15, Sundowns development.
Yeah.
And then there's the Diski Challenge.
Okay.
So the Diski Challenge is basically the under 23 tournament or under 23 league structure for the PSL.
And what type of style of play would you say they do in the Diski Challenge?
It's a lot of young South African fans, so a lot of skills.
A lot of skills. They're not very like direct.
No, but they're nice though. They're nice.
No, I mean, it's a type of football I love to watch. Aren't you, I mean, especially with Percy, aren't you just bursting with pride as a South African? Like,
but now I'm bursting with pride, but also know that shit, like, now things get real because, first of all, now you got to keep your place.
Or no, things get real, and he doesn't actually. Okay, so let's stay on Percy for now because he is at Brighton and he has the opportunity to make the first team and become part of the first 11. He is that good. Would you say? So I mean, now you're right. It gets real. He's been in South Africa. He played for Sundowns. He played a bit for Club Brugge. He's played in Amsterdam. Sorry, not in Amsterdam. He played in the Netherlands. If I'm not mistaken.
He played all three spells in Belgium. So he first played in the second division of Belgium.
Yes.
And then he went to Club Brugge.
Yes,
and then he went Anderlecht.
Okay, so Anderlecht is actually in the Netherlands. It's not in. No, sorry, it is in Belgium.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, sorry, it is in Belgium if I'm not mistaken. So now it does get real because now he's in the Premier League. And what I did notice is he got serious social signals on their social media. Brighton used to. South Africa invaded it. But I mean, I was just bursting with pride as a South African and as an African to see Percy in the Premier League. And the last time we've had a player in the Premier League was, I think, Stephen Pienaar for Everton.
It would be Stephen Pienaar.
And before that, it was like Lucas Radebe or something like that.
There was a spell, like we had your Lucas Radebe, Mark Fish, Bartlett,
Sean Bartlett. For Charlton, and Fish also played for Charlton Athletic.
Yeah. Fish was wanted by Man United.
What happened there?
Yeah, because he went from Lazio. So after he won the CAF Champions League with Pirates '95, he went to Lazio, then he went to England to Bolton.
Yeah, he was first at Bolton, then Charlton, eh?
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
So at Bolton, he was one of the highest paid players in the EPL.
Damn it.
Yeah. So that's how Bolton kept him, because they're like, shit, we'll make you,
we'll make you rich, baby.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know Louis Fish, his wife?
I don't.
Yeah, she was like in that level of posh spice, like a wag.
Damn, she was a real wag.
Yeah, Fish was earning that.
He was earning that good money. Yeah. So what I noticed with Brighton is that their posts on Facebook, I checked out Instagram and Twitter as well, followed through on all social platforms, but Facebook was a bit more emphatic. Their posts used to get sort of 200 to 800 hearts and likes, and then Percy Tau came through and they put him in one of the pictures. It got like almost 20,000 hearts and likes and laughing faces and everything else, angry faces as well, like just all these reactions. He's very loved by South Africans, and they're not scared to show it and they're not scared to tell the coach to put him on. What do you think that does? What do you think? Do you think he looks at social media? Do you think he knows about it? And what do you think it does to? What do you think it does to his psyche?
That's actually something that I've been you know, like now, you know, again, working with players currently, you know, like I've been, social media is a factor, you know, in terms of like even building a player. So for Percy Tau, I don't think in his development, you know, that was a factor. They're like, okay, cool, this is how you're gonna handle the hype, you know. So this, I'm sure, like when he saw that and he did acknowledge it, you know, it does put a lot of pressure on him. So but again, like, you know, you get players who thrive off that.
Yeah,
You know,
I'm hoping
guys
he's,
who like,
yeah, I'm hoping he's one of those players. You might remember a cricketer called Lance Klusener.
yeah, Zulu Ball.
Zulu made one big mistake towards the end of his career. It wasn't even really his fault. It was Alan Donald. Yeah, I don't even want to
Oh
say it.
shit, that World
I don't
Cup.
even I don't even want to say it because it's like I'm swearing. Yeah, that
Mm.
World Cup semi-final. I think it was in somewhere between 97 and 99 or whatever. But yeah, it's one of those World Cup games where Zulu and Alan Donald were running between the wickets and made a mockery of the game. But let's not talk about that again. But
Yeah, no.
Zulu thrived under pressure. If we needed 12 runs off two balls, Zulu would hit. He would go and smash two sixes.
Yeah,
He's just one of those athletes, and you get them sometimes in sport. I want to say Khabib Nurmagomedov in mixed martial arts is
oh
also
yeah.
he's also someone that
So
when the pressure's on big, he thrives.
yeah,
And Floyd Mayweather's another one. Big pressure, he thrives.
yeah,
That's why they're both unbeaten. But
yeah.
yeah, so let's hope Percy Tau has that same mentality. And if he bangs in a goal, look, he's gonna come on at some point in the Premier League. They're
Mm.
gonna they
No chance. You get a
right,
big chance.
exactly. He's not coming on when they're 1-0 up. He's gonna come on when they're 1-0 down or 2-0 down, and the coach has got no other options. Generally, I think if you're Brighton and you're hanging around 15th or 16th, sometimes 17th in the Premier League, and you're trying to stay in, I think what you do when you're 1-0 up is you throw a CDM or a
Mm.
center. You chuck a centre back on and just play with three centre backs. So he's gonna
Yeah.
come. He's gonna come on when the chips are down, and
Shit.
the one thing that I think he maybe has going for him is that there's no fans in the stadium. Now,
Yeah.
I know that someone could make the argument and say, well, fans might be very encouraging, but I think it gives him a clean slate that he started in England and there's just no
Mm.
fans. And
Yeah.
if he comes into form, he's going to know how loved he is when the fans come back into the stadium. So
Yeah. By the time the fans,
he just needs to unleash 3 points or 6 points or 9 points from his boot. Just like 3 games where he
mm,
scores and they win. That's going to be great.
yeah.
It's
And I
definitely.
guess this is like now the test now for our development because he followed the right structures. This is now the test to see where we are and where we can improve. I've seen physically also that's what we need to focus on going forward
Yeah,
because physically Percy Tau, he needs to get the ball in space.
he does. He
When he
needs
gets it,
he needs to play. He needs to be played the ball in front of him, or to his feet,
mm,
fast, and have players moving around with him.
yeah,
Um, I don't. I want to say he's kind of like a Stephen Pienaar in that way. If you put Stephen
yeah.
Pienaar and Percy Tau on the same team, that would be dynamite.
But
Um,
check it Saka, Arsenal Saka,
I watched the game the
like
other
the
night.
same.
Yeah, he was brilliant the other night. I love that goal that he scored because it wasn't a brilliant goal. It was a good goal, but it was just a pure hard work goal. Like he ran
Yeah,
his ass off to get there, and he just scored. It didn't have to look brilliant. He got the ball
he's
in the
left
back of the
footed.
net, and those 3 points mean a lot, hey? I see you guys
Yeah,
are.
he's left footed.
I see Arsenal went above Chelsea. That's a big thing.
Yeah, I know we in the title race. I mean, not title race.
You're in the top
I
four
mean,
race. Yeah,
Champions
yeah,
League
yeah.
race. Yeah,
Well,
Champions
Liverpool,
League race.
I think if Liverpool loses against Spurs, we could have problems. It's
Ooh,
not.
even you guys must be careful.
No,
Shit,
we
you gotta
are.
be
We
careful.
are being very careful at the moment. Liverpool are trading on thin ice.
They're playing Tottenham next.
That's Spurs. It's tonight. I've got money on the
Oh shit,
games.
it's tonight.
It's tonight, yeah. So be prepared for
For
some
real?
be prepared for some banter in the football group because I think I think Bobby Firmino is back. So I just wanted to just a couple.
Even
Yeah.
it's back at okay, never mind.
No,
Never
no,
mind, listener.
no. You can say it. You can say it.
No, I was saying you must worry about your defense. Like you must hold someone is back in the defense. At least a
So
center back.
the reason I think we haven't gone on board a centre back in January is, and we still have 3 days to do so, but I think we should have done it on the 1st of January. But the reason I think we haven't bought a centre back is because Virgil van Dijk's expected back in the first week of Feb, and this could be, and so is Joe Gomez. That we don't have dates on either of their returns, but this is my suspicion, and I hope I'm right.
All right. Well,
But
all the best.
but anyway, back to Juice Ready and culture. Do you think Percy Tau? So when you say he took the correct structures, when you say you think Percy Tau went up through the right structures, the way he did it was good, and you approve of it, would you say Kagelo Chauke is doing it in another?
Oh shit.
He's a little bit different, eh? He's in England and he can
Yeah,
actually play for England. So
tiny bit different.
yeah.
So he moved to England when he was 1 years old.
Mm.
So yeah,
I
so
didn't know
like
that.
he's
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I thought he was. I thought he first became a really good footballer and then went to England.
nah, no, that guy, no scouting whatsoever. He just
So
literally
they
grew
went.
up.
So they emigrated to England, his family, and now he's a really great
Yeah,
footballer. I see. Okay, unlucky for us, but he
and he
can
went
play.
through the he went through the Southampton academy and proved himself in the different ranks.
Okay, so now,
So obviously,
yeah. So that's a different way that he went up. So I'm gonna ask you a question, BT. Can me and you get Rachelo to come and eat sushi with us in Sandton and convince him to play for Bafana Bafana?
yeah, when you must after Queen Elizabeth breaks that travel ban.
Well, yeah, because
I saw
I mean, and I watched him play for Southampton. I think he's really good, and no one knows how good he's going to be. He might be an incredible player. But do you think he's got?
you know what needs to happen.
Yes.
We need to speak to his parents there. What's the Department of Home Affairs need to holler at his parents
Well, no, you know what
and give him a call and give him a call up for Bafana Bafana.
correct, but you know what you need to do when you're on the phone with his parents is be drinking a beer, a non-alcoholic beer at the moment, but be sitting in Cape Town or Sandton and have the sun on you, and
Mm.
let it be a rainy day in England, and tell them to come back, and tell them that Trujillo can
Well,
play for.
if they to assign me to handle the talking, I'll make sure his papers will be done quick, bro.
Yeah, I'll make sure he's looked after as well.
But yeah, man, that's what needs to happen because we have a lot of these guys that are either moved to England at a young age or they moved in their teens, like the one that's playing for Kanya Leshabela
Okay.
from he plays for Tottenham. No, not Tottenham, man, Leicester. And he was on
was he on the bench last night? Did he make the first team?
no, so I've been watching. So he's been on the bench for the FA Cup.
Okay.
So one of the FA Cup games that they played, he
I
was
know
on
then
so he made it.
what's his name again? Shabelo. How do you say it?
Kanya Leshabela.
Le Shabela. Okay, I do know that. I
Yeah.
think I know that name. Yeah. Okay. So he's playing at Leicester. It happens a lot though. It happens in
So
cricket.
he moved there. He moved there when he was. It's one of the situations, you know, like sometimes like your local team goes on a tour and plays in England,
And then they liked
and
him.
then
He liked
they
them.
liked him, yeah, and then they're like, nah,
And they liked each
stay
other, and
here.
he stayed there. Yeah, and he's really good. Yeah. So, well, it happens as well in cricket and rugby, where you see South Africans playing for England. Yeah,
Yeah.
Jonathan Trott, Kevin Peterson. Okay,
Mm.
so we got to try and get Kakelo because I think he has a chance to play for Bafana, and I don't know if he has a chance to play for England. He has less chance to play for England
Yeah.
because of
Well,
the talent of the depth of talent in the England
yeah.
squad. Yeah,
Okay,
but
it'll be no brainer, man. Like,
he
because
might
at the
be
end of the
brilliant.
day, these guys actually want to play for South Africa.
They do.
There's never like that.
I mean, they probably do want to. They probably do want to play in the Euros and the World Cup every 4 years, which England is going to get into. South Africa gets into it every 12 years.
So what would make the decision even more easier is if South Africa is guaranteed always to qualify for the big competition. Because remember the France '98,
Agreed.
guys like Pierre Issa and Hans Fonk,
Yeah.
like guys, Safa didn't have to call anybody. Those guys called there. Like, say, I've got a grandfather who was born in Joburg, and I can't play.
Yeah.
Issa.
Yes,
Those are happened, bro. But
yeah, I remember Issa.
yeah.
I
So
remember
like if we guaranteed like every time that we're gonna play in the AFCON and we're gonna play in the World Cup, the players themselves I think would be more open to that and be more vocal about it. Because if you think about it yourself, if you're a player, you know you have better chance of playing as a starter in Bafana Bafana than at England.
I mean, I hope the coach can hear you right now.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, so lastly on Percy Tau, just before we wrap up, I want to ask you one more question. What do you do if you Potter? Do you throw Percy Tau on the right in a front three, or do you play him on the wing in a 4-4-2?
I think on the right in the front three. That's what he was. That's what he's used to even at Sundowns.
I mean, that's
so it'd be safe to play in that front three on the right. Maybe he can come out and become like Salah.
That's what I was going to say. Salah plays in the front three on the right, or the left, or centre forward. So the thing about Liverpool's front three is they're very fluid. They can all play right, left, and front.
Well, I mean that's ideal thing.
Yeah.
That we can play off. But yeah, it would be nice out wide, not because at least there's space there.
I think he's a forward. I don't think he's an out and out winger, like a Nani or a Cristiano Ronaldo when he was at United. Ronaldo became a forward afterwards. So I mean, I just hope the pressure doesn't get to him. I don't think it will. I think he seems like the kind of guy who's level-headed, takes one day at a time.
Yeah,
and as you say, he came up through the right structures. I think he's mature. He's 26. He's played in the PSL for a number of years. He's played in Belgium. He's played at Anderlecht. So let's see. I just have to advise him not to go on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram for the next year or two. He's gonna see the colonization of their social media channels. I made a few comments myself, and I was astounded that some people didn't know that so obviously they didn't know I was South African at first because I don't have a Zulu name, but they were so surprised that Percy Tau had a white supporter. It was great. I'm like, guys, everyone is allowed to support Percy Tau. But I think if Chauka wasn't British, he would have the same following. I haven't.
He will have like an enigma almost, like that Fresh Prince of Bel-Air sort of thing. He's coming back from the England, he's coming back to his home,
The Fresh Prince of Bishops.
that sort of thing. So
Fresh Prince of
you'll
the
be
private
welcome,
school.
especially if he contributes. Come here, we'll give him a nickname.
Imagine he chooses South Africa, and he makes the first 11, and he just scores hat-trick after hat-trick in each game that we need him, and we get into and we start winning things again, and we get into the African Cup of Nations, and we get into the World Cup. I mean, Kagelo, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Anyway, BT, it's been great to catch up. Let's have another catch up next week.
Yes, sir. No doubt. My battery's dying as well.
Is it dying? Okay. Well, let me let you log out, and I'll chat to you again next week. Cheers, my brother.
All right. Arrivederci.